like, you know, while I am trying to kind of rush through games from the perspective of beat it, move on to the next game with how many games I play, you know, I'm not always opposed to doing, like, some side quests along the way just to showcase, like, hey, this is kind of what some side quests are like in this game. This is what some world building is like. Like, look at my Final Fantasy 16 playthrough. While I mostly focused on the main quest, I went around and I did, like, a decent handful of the side quests along the way. I normally wouldn't be too opposed to doing that in a game like this, but, one, this is a game where if you miss one, like, everything is a timed quest in the sense that if you miss one and progress the story up to a certain point, you can't ever go back and redo it. Nor would I expect that with this game, because, like, if you're telling the story of Final Fantasy VII Midgar, obviously, like, with the way the story moves, you can't exactly design a game where you can go back and do things at any time. So it's kind of a natural consequence of the way that the story itself is handled. But also, like, I've played through Final Fantasy VII before, so I know what happens outside of the stuff that's new to Remake here. And I guess I can still do some side quests for the sake of the world building. But the thing is, this game already has a fair bit that wasn't in the original Final Fantasy VII. I'm already experiencing what feels like side questing in the sense of this isn't important for the story. Like the fact that I can't go through this freaking door right now, and I have to go chase some creature through the sewers before I can advance the story, because this game is already padding itself like crazy, you know? So I feel especially not incentivized to do the side quests, because it's like, this already has enough padding under the hood anyway, because they put that in there to better justify making an entire game out of Midgar alone, because instead of just remaking Final Fantasy VII, they had to go and turn into a whole trilogy for whatever reason. I mean, I've heard that Rebirth is pretty chonky, but, you know, in terms of the experience of, you know, is the new stuff they've put in actually meaningful and worthwhile, I'm not particularly impressed with this game. Like, some of the new stuff that they added I actually thought was kind of interesting, like the motorcycle segment with Jesse, Biggs, and Wedge, and leading up to, you know, that scene at, like, Jesse's house and giving us, like, some backstory of characters that we knew before, but we didn't really get to, like, properly explore before, or being able to explore that, like, there's other branches of Avalanche that, like, do their own thing, and it's like, okay, you know, this is interesting, I can dig that, you know. If they're gonna put that kind of stuff in here to better justify it being its own game. Man, look how much easier that guy was compared to those Ninja Turtles. If they're gonna put stuff like that in, it's like, cool. I like Final Fantasy VII, and so I like getting more of this thing that I'm interested in terms of, like, actual meaningful content that lets me explore the game in a way that I, you know, hadn't before. When they're trying to make a full game out of Midgar, and, some of that additional content, for the sake of doing that, is going and chasing some freaking key-stealing guy through the sewers before you can actually get to the Shinra HQ. It's just like, why? It feels like a mandatory side quest. It feels kind of like Xenoblade Chronicles 2 Torn of the Golden Country, where, to progress the story, you just need to successfully do, like, X percentage of side quests around the world. Except this game has optional side quests, and then the actual mandatory story, which feels like it may as well be side quests in the case of stuff like this, you know? Is kind of what it feels like. So, I'm a little bit mixed on this game in that sense. There's a lot of things that I do genuinely really quite like about this game, but overall, I'm kind of mixed on it, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I'd long heard since this game came out that, like, holy crap, Final Fantasy VII Remake was, like, such an amazing masterpiece. I don't know if I see it, you know? I don't know. There's things that I like about this game. It's a game that I think I will have been glad that I played through after I'm done with it, but, like, I don't know if it's quite 100% for me, you know? Are you fucking kidding me? I can never heal fast enough. Like, what the hell? Yeah, definitely a bit all over the place with this game here. I'm being sent some articles. I'll check those out later. Let's see here. A bit all over the place. Did I face the Tonberry here? I don't think so. Don't believe I did. And it's a shame because Final Fantasy MTG card art is phenomenal. I think I missed a whole bunch of, like, discussion about AI art. The card where it's turtles eating pizza, don't remember the name of it. I remember I briefly saw earlier Lancer said, like, speaking of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or something like that. Spawned a conversation that I missed here. because they needed to make Midgar as long as a typical AAA game. Yeah, it really feels like that. But, you know, you play through Final Fantasy VII, and it really doesn't feel like Midgar can be its own game, you know? When I was playing original Final Fantasy VII and people told me that Remake was Midgar alone, my initial reaction was, what? How? And I still kind of think that way, like, what? How? Like, I'm seeing how now. But again, if they actually took the time to make the additional stuff that turned this into a full game more meaningful kind of stuff, like that whole segment with, like, Jessie and exploring her family and the different branches of Avalanche that exist and, like, expanding on the world build, I was like, okay, I can get behind that. This is, like, exploring further something that I already liked, and I get to, like, enjoy the story on a deeper level than I did before. Like, that I like. That doesn't feel like padding. Like, sure, it wasn't in the original game, but it feels like meaningful content. This does not freaking feel like meaningful content. This just sucks. Yeah, honestly. Like, they could have absolutely just taken time to remake full Final Fantasy VII, but they had to make it a trilogy. I mean, you know, maybe by the time that I'm through with this whole trilogy, I'll be at the end and be like, man, that was freaking phenomenal. That was like one of the greatest gaming experiences ever. What an absolutely out of this world trilogy. But, you know, playing Final Fantasy VII, like, sure, it can be a longer game. Oh my god. Oh, one of the Ninja Turtles is here again. Like, it can be a longer-ish game, but no, not long enough that you had to turn into a trilogy. I've been frogged again.
Let me handle this.
I really underestimated how many Maiden's Kisses I would need to buy. Like, I bought a amount that I thought was more than fair to be, like, truly stocked up for a while. And I am truly stocked up for a while. But it might not last, or maybe it won't matter, because maybe I won't run into these Ninja Turtles anymore after this point here with the sewers. Like, realistically, there's no way there's any of these enemy types in the Shinra HQ. Like, there's no freaking way. Wouldn't have minded this bit being a bit shorter. Yeah, maybe just, like, remove the additional sewer segment or something like that. And if you want to pad out the game, have more meaningful content, then have that behind, like, optional content. Have it behind the side quests, rather than making what feels like some completely left field, nothing to do with the story, mandatory content. Be, as you know, mandatory. You know? Okay. Deal with that. Damn it, I've been frogged again. We're all frogged. Oh, look at the Barret frog. Everyone actually has a different frog look. He has projectile bubbles. Okay, that's actually kind of fun. Bubble breath and attack. That's actually kind of fun, not gonna lie. That's actually kind of cool. That is kind of funny. Alright, screw it, man. Time to die. Get out of here. Alright, well, I want to remind you that Squeenix said that if they were to remake Final Fantasy VI, which is shorter than 7, they make it into more parts than Final Fantasy VII Remake. From memory, it was 7 parts, but I could be wrong. Like, you're saying actual separate games? Or you're saying, like, it's a freaking Telltale Games game where they just release it in chapters, but it's, like, one overarching game? Like, actual different games? We actually add extra story that's more meaningful to the overall plot. Exactly. Like, the extra stuff that they added with, like, Jessie and other factions of Avalanche. You know, that was cool. I thought that was meaningful content. I could dig that. This, I don't dig. You know, can't imagine how awful a Final Fantasy VI remake would be in this style. Yeah, I've never played Final Fantasy VI, but I can only imagine. Like, knowing in my head the length of Final Fantasy VII since I played through it. A game that's shorter than that being even more parts than this. That does sound like a genuinely quite awful experience, honestly. Okay. If they ever did that, I don't think that I'd be interested in playing it. Even if it released like this, where everyone's treating it like the best thing since sliced bread. I don't think I'd play it. I don't think I'd be particularly interested. Ow! Man, they do a decent bit of damage. And again, I know I'm shooting myself in the foot by not going around doing like any real side quests or anything like that. But, you know, if I'm not 100%ing the game, it's kind of like, what's the point? And this game is already padded enough that, like, I really don't want to add, like, more onto it. This is already taking, like, forever for Midgar alone. As, again, would have to be the case if you're turning it into 3 games instead of, you know, 1. It's just a weird situation overall with, like, these games. I feel like, I don't know. No, don't kill me. I don't know if it's quite for me. I liked Final Fantasy VII. I don't know if the remake trilogy is quite my 100% cup of tea. It's quite the definition of a mixed bag for me. Kind of like Persona 5 Tactica was, in the sense that it's like, the things I like about it, I really like. The things I dislike about it, I really dislike. You know, that's kind of the way that I'm feeling about this game. It'll be interesting to see how I feel about Rebirth when I end up playing that. Okay. Here, sure. You need to be working on your focus shot here. I keep on forgetting about. Level up here.
Was never in doubt.
Yeah, let's see here. Oop. Obtain 2 mega potions. I don't even know how you'd stretch Final Fantasy VI to be that long. Yeah, just knowing the rough length comparing to Final Fantasy VII, I wouldn't know how either. Love how they had Barrett do the victory chant. I like that too in this game. I do quite like that fanfare. Maybe split at the point where you get all the party members back. Okay, people actually discussing it who know the story of Final Fantasy VI. Unlike me, you have a whole bunch of MP, so you can go ahead and say, do this. People will be the one to heal us now. Oop, there we go. But yeah, I don't know. Not to mention the entire gimmick of Final Fantasy VI is learning magic permanently. How you track that from game to game? You don't. And part of me wondered about, like, this remake trilogy. Like, oh, do your levels carry over? Does your materia carry over? And people told me no, they actually are separate games. I'm like, oh, that's a little shitty. Like, if only it was the kind of situation where it's like in Rebirth, you can, like, start a new save file and you start at this level with this much materia. But if you played, like, the original Final Fantasy VII Remake, you can transfer your save data over and play the trilogy like it's one game, you know? I feel like, especially if that's another reason why I don't want to do all the side quests. By the time I get to the next game, I'm using, like, the same cast of party members and everything's reset because they count as standalone games rather than, like, one start-to-finish adventure. Like original Final Fantasy VII. Harmonia, how would you rank the Final Fantasy games you've played so far, from best one you've enjoyed to the least one you've enjoyed, including the ones you played back then? I mean, I never beat any Final Fantasy games back when, so, like, I don't think it's fair for me to talk about Final Fantasy X when I only have, like, 2 streams in it from 2018. I don't think it'd be fair to, you know, say that here. And all I've really played through is Final Fantasy 16 and the entire series of Final Fantasy VII up until this point is what I've played through. Here, over this, my little thumbnail for the Pokemon Wind and Waves thingamabob. Here, I'll tell you. Notepad. How would I rank them? I think my favorite is probably, like, out of the games I've played. Again, I've only played the Final Fantasy VII series up until this point, and 16. And I'm not going to count 10, because I only have 2 streams in it. Probably Final Fantasy VII at the top. I did quite like that. Then probably Final Fantasy 16. Then probably Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core, or Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII, whatever the hell they call it. Ooh, probably that. I'll figure out where I'm slotting in Remake in a hot second. Dirge of Cerberus. Final Fantasy VII. Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis. And then as for Remake, I would put it here. Thus far. I think I liked Crisis Core a bit more, honestly. You know, and that's like right to the point, and you know, meaningful story all the way through, even if I felt like pretty lost on at points. Like, how the hell did Director Lazard get revived as an Angeal clone? I still don't understand it. And I've watched like a few Crisis Core plot summary videos on YouTube hoping to explain it, but they just explain like the actual plot step by step. And then Director Lazard got revived as an Angeal clone. I'm like, what the hell? That doesn't help me understand what the heck is going on here. Anyway, I think that's what I would do. I think that's the order that I would go, where this is like my top favorite in terms of what I've played thus far, and then down this way is what I would probably say out of the Final Fantasy games I've played thus far. So like I said, I mean, it's just 16 and a whole whack of 7. It's not like I really have like, you know, a whole breadth of understanding in the Final Fantasy series, even though I'm like 6 games in here. And that sounds like I've played a whole lot of one series, but realistically, there's so many Final Fantasy 7 games that I've only played 2 Final Fantasy IPs, 16 and 7. And I still have many more 7 games to go. How crazy is that? Despite the fact that I've played 6 Final Fantasy games now. Wild, huh? Anyway, that's how I'd rank them, I'd say. That's where I'm at. That's what I would say here. That's what I think. Way to just play strictly turn-based on 7 with the original 7, yes. If you go... When you start a new file of this, you can set it to classic mode or modern mode, where classic mode is supposed to be more based around, like, the original style. I tried it in my testing with, like, intermission to make sure that I had that content unlocked, like, back when I first got that all set up. It does not feel any different. 7 is real-time based. So it's like you have a little meter of action, and then when it's fully charged up, then your character can take an action. So, like, if you sit around and do nothing, the enemy will just keep on acting and kill you. So you do have to act, like, with some decent speed in 7 there, just because, like, every second matters. So it's real-time, turn-based, is what 7 is. About Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles, my life as a Dark Lord for the Nintendo Wii? What? Is that a thing? I think 16 was probably the best of the modern releases because the team that made it is so passionate about Final Fantasy. Yeah, like, 16 felt like it had a lot of passion behind it. Like, I didn't think that 16 was a perfect game. I think that the biggest issue with it is just that the random battles along the way got really samey feeling just because literally every basic enemy was just combo food that you could juggle around for 3 years. But at least it was good practice for you doing, like, your crazier combos. I think that's my biggest complaint with Final Fantasy 16. But overall, pretty good. Cutscenes freaking phenomenal. Every boss in that game felt like a final boss of any other video game, like such grand scale. Music out of this world. The combat and boss battles really good. And the combat, even with the regular encounter battles, is like really cool and clean, and you can do like all sorts of crazy cool combos, especially chaining with Portal. But it's just that any generic enemy is just like combo food that you juggle around, and it doesn't really change, you know. Is kind of the case. That's my biggest complaint with that game. But overall, pretty freaking fun game. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It's you. I need you to die. I need you to die. Holy crap. I need you to die. I hate these guys so much. You know, I fought these guys in Final Fantasy VII. I fought these guys in Crisis Core. They weren't too bad. But in this game, oh my god, are these guys freaking unreal. Weapon ability learned. Sweet. These guys are actually the worst in this game. I think they might be my least favorite enemy in this game, I'm gonna be honest with you. I never would have thought that I would say that after playing Final Fantasy VII or Crisis Core, you know? That's how I'm feeling about these guys. So just kill them. Of course you're going that way. Okay, heal Tifa, please. Please have the heal come out in time. There we go. Ow. Oh my god. I've been freaking frogged again.
Let me handle this.
I was gonna die before this comes out. Just watch. It's the rule. Wow, it actually didn't happen. Look, he's almost dead. There we go. Now the crab should be easy in comparison, so I'm not even gonna bother unfrogging Cloud. I don't think. Okay. Okay. Didn't quite get that in time, but that's fine. Ow. Just die. Immune? Are you kidding me? Get out of here. Jeez.
Those gloves up.
Sure thing, coach.
I don't know how much is left here. I might just run back to that stupid bench again just to be safe. I only have so many ethers in there, a little pricey, so. And if there's like some big boss battle at the end here, which there totally is, because like Shinra HQ, uh-oh. There might not be much point in running back if guys respawn. Never mind then. Because if this is its own chapter, and Shinra HQ is presumably going to be its own chapter, then there's got to be like some sort of final boss at the end of this. But if there is, there's probably going to be a bench before that point, to be fair. I see a thing back here. Let's see here. 16 was phenomenal overall. The story was overall really well written too. I generally like the story, but at times I felt like I didn't quite fully understand everything. Like, I still, to this day, don't actually understand what the heck was going on with what's his face? The final boss there that was, like, present throughout the story. Why am I blanking on his name right now? What is wrong with me? It wasn't Origin. What game am I getting confused with thinking that it was Origin? Like, he was cool and, like, really, you know, foreboding and stuff. But it's like, he was in Clive, kind of like Zanza from Xenoblade Chronicles. But at the same time, he wasn't, and he was also in other places, and it's like, what the heck even? So I wish that there was just, like, one clear-cut rule of this is how it worked. Ultima, that's what I'm thinking of, yeah. One clear-cut rule of how it works, where it's like, is Ultima in Clive? Is he in other places? Is he sealed within Joshua? The thing that, or whatever the heck is going on there. Like, if I had just understood that a little bit better, then I'd be a whole lot more clear on the story of Final Fantasy 16. Is the case there. Like how the final boss theme is a remix of Find the Flame. Music's so good in Final Fantasy 16. At Extra Life, sometimes they'll have an orchestra come out, and a live orchestra will play that on the West Edmonton Mall ice rink there. Find the Flame. And it's so good. I think my microphone has always picked it up, like, pretty terribly. But yeah, I've gotten to listen to a live orchestra playing Find the Flame. It's so good. Like, sends shivers down your spine kind of good. Man. But yeah. Oh, maybe False Souls was asking about, like, turn-based for Chrono Trigger then. And yeah, I've heard that Chrono Trigger's pretty great. That's another one on my to-do list if I'm going to do it at some point here.
Just like his owner.
Yeah, Harmonious should dedicate a LAN event or Frag to play Chrono Trigger. I don't, even though that'd be the kind of thing that one could realistically beat start to finish at an event like that, I don't think I want to do RPG games start to finish at LAN events. Just because RPG games kind of promote taking your time with it, looking up how to do, like, optimal builds and stuff like that between sessions, doing a little bit of research on your own time, maybe doing a little bit of grinding on your own time. And I feel like if I try to play, like, a level-based, turn-based RPG game, start to finish at a LAN event like that, I'm just going to drive myself up the wall. Those kinds of things I do need to space out. So yeah, there was that. Joshua is the Phoenix, Clive is Bahamut. No, Clive is the Ifrit. That's what he is. This is what he be. Chrono Trigger really is just a 24-hour game, huh? Makes you wonder, how many hours do I have in this game so far? Let's compare that in a hot second. After I'm through here, out of curiosity.
Don't overdo it.
I should make sure that you spend that when you get the chance. Ifrit, sorry, mistook the two. No worries. Bahamut was the gay badass prince. is who it was.
No holding back.
The dude with, like, so much charisma, it was unreal. But yeah, pretty short game though. Like, unless an RPG game is like under 10 hours, I don't think I'd want to play a RPG start to finish at a LAN event. Just because I'd want to, like, actually take my time to, like, research what's good. What way can I build my characters? What are ways that people play this game instead of feeling pressured, no pun intended with the pressure here, to see it start to finish and not really have the time to, like, truly explore the game. Like, I'm playing something like an action game start to finish at a LAN event, and it's like, whatever. Like, Final Fantasy VII Dirge of Cerberus, for example. That kind of game is like, whatever, who cares? But an RPG game, I do really want to actually take time to sink my teeth into it in the sense that I am, like, slowly learning, and I have opportunity to learn between sessions, too. So I get to, like, truly enjoy it, instead of feeling bum rush through, and then I never get to, like, truly understand what the hell is going on in the game. You know, then everyone's gonna be at me like, what? You never even used this mechanic? That was so obvious. What the heck? You know? My God, what the hell is going on here, man? So I just don't think that RPG games make sense for, like, fucking start to finish, like, one fell swoop kind of LAN event things. I need to take my time with those and, like, truly enjoy them. I care not. Screw it. Just do
Keep it
this.
together.
All set. Don't give up.
Okay. Okay, all pressured and stuff here. Ow.
Feel this one.
You know what? Screw it.
Give me a little pullback.
Okay. Pew.
I got this.
You got this. I got this.
I've got
Okay,
you
come
covered.
on. This guy's almost down, so just commit. Screw it.
There.
Ow.
Gotcha.
Oop. Come on. Do this. Almost there. Barrett can probably do this now.
Too easy. Okay, let's go.
Okay, come on. Really? When did her health get so low? I didn't even realize.
Be careful. It's on you.
I can still fight.
Ah, dang. Oh, we're getting so dang close now.
Take the lead.
Let's do this.
Okay, come on. Please. We're about to stagger you. So please, just die, please. Get out of here. I still have to take out these guys.
I won't give
Life is a prison.
Let me handle this.
Mission was shoot defeated.
Gotcha. Don't give up.
Okay, come on, please. Pressured. Oh, I thought I had some unbridled strength stacked already.
Give him your all.
Screw it. I don't care.
To the limit and beyond.
Okay, come on. Okay, and then get the heck out of here. Jeez, watch me not even get the key out of that and they pad it more.
Give it back.
Harmonia, what would you say is your favorite boss fight in the entirety of 16?
That's
Give it back.
Maybe Bahamut, just because like we go to frickin' space and do all this crazy stuff.
That's not a key.
Odin's pretty good too.
Sorry.
And of course the final battle is as well.
That's not your pendant either. Were they family?
No.
It was all just a dream, wasn't it? But one day, no. Time to wake up and forget.
Six months ago. On that day, Corneo picked her as a bride, and on the next, she vanished without a trace. But before she did, she gave it back. Salt on the wound. Thing cost me a small fortune.
Why did you want to come down here?
Revenge. I know I need to let go, but I can't. I need closure, because without it, I'll never be able to move on.
It's fine. As long as you get us topside, we're still in.
Thanks. And don't worry, I got you.
You all right?
I know a
So
shortcut.
I guess they did try to
Follow
make
me.
it meaningful in the sense of like, here's some more world building stuff. But again, if it's party members that we care about, like members of Avalanche from Final Fantasy VII, like the segment with Jesse's family, or finding out that there's different divisions of Avalanche, that's cool. I'm not going to count that as padding. I'm going to count that as like actual more meaningful content that they put in. But now we're learning about the tragic backstory of the main guard of Corneo's mansion. Who gives a shit? You know, in a sense here. That's what I kind of feel. All right. there's some bench or something like that around the corner here. But yeah. Yep. So favorite boss fight in Final Fantasy VII is definitely Safer Sephiroth because holy crap. Some of the animations with that.
Twisted piece of
Unreal.
shit. I'm gonna enjoy beating him to a pulp.
Corneo's mine.
Yeah, well, with the remake games in general, I assume you mean. So Remake 3. It'll be interesting to see what they do with Safer Sephiroth when we get that far. What does this do? One more disposal area. Yeah. They'll have to do something pretty crazy in part 3. Have a similar amount of wow factor as Safer Sephiroth did on PS1 in 1997. You know. There's more. But wait! There's more! Unless this is just us, like, taking a quick shortcut back to that door that, like, he had the key for this entire time, and then when we're at that door, we just, like, dip on out really quickly. Something like that. Will be nice. Is this... Just thinking, was that bench nearby here? It might be on this lower thing. Yeah, we are going back to the thing. I'm pretty sure here. Imagine all the guys respawn and you have to refight the Ninja Turtles here. Like, that is genuinely the most trouble I've had with a random encounter enemy in a game in a while. It's just consistently the Ninja Turtles in this. Oh yeah, I was gonna check. How many hours do I have in this for reference? 19 and a half. So by the time that I've beaten this, it will have probably been close to 24 hours. So around the length of Chrono Trigger for Midgar alone in the remake series of Final Fantasy VII. Yeah, you can refight the Ninja Turtles or you can skip the fight by throwing them a pizza. If only. Give me some more of these. I can't buy more than 9 at a time. That's so lame. Whatever, 9 it is. Sit on the stupid bench. Okay. Okay. Get my HP and MP fully restored. Let me... Dang, that's not the regular pause screen. Let me check here really quickly. Yeah, you still have to work on Star Shower. You can, yeah, proficiency is 100% on each of these. So now you can actually use Big Bertha. Hell yeah, now I can give you another materia. Or I can actually engage with the fact that you can combine, you know, materia stuff if you put something like Elemental on. But I don't know if I care enough. No, he doesn't. It's faded out. He doesn't actually have it equipped. Here, get the frickin' fire. And then, like, I don't know. Something else. I don't know. I also just don't feel as much reason to engage with the materia in this game compared to original Final Fantasy VII. Maybe that's because this is Midgar alone and I had a lot more time to explore materia. Lets you expand the range of spells with the linked materia. Oh, kind of cool. I'll try it. Here, I'll actually engage with, like, linking something for once. Finally be bothered to do it, I guess. But yeah. If you use AI art for their Magic the Gathering cards, the Ninja Turtles will attack you anyways. Was that the conversation from earlier that I missed? Was AI generated art for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Magic the Gathering cards? That's a thing? What? What about Magnify the Cure does? I don't know if I can Magnify the Cure. I don't know if that's a thing that I can do. Yeah?